Mix up. Keep moving! Check for survivors!
Zombie's been around about 10 years. We've specialized in first-person shooters.
Atari approached us about doing a realistic military first-person shooter with a movie bent.
These guys want to make the most cinematic shooter I've ever heard of, and that would be really, really cool.
We've used a lot of Hollywood talent. We use Hollywood scriptwriting, Hollywood voice talent, a real soundtrack, Hollywood storyboarding. It's been a very diverse project.
Complete high production values like movie.
Overall in the game, it's a fast-paced, grab you by the seat of the pants, popcorn summer-type game experience.
Things are brought to you in the moment. You might have a plan and it'll change and you have to deal with it. And it's under intense fire and a lot of kind of heavy thinking and just sort of surviving. It's very intense.
In Xbox Live, we're giving you the full meal deal. There's going to be 10 specially designed multiplayer maps, 10 specially designed co-op maps that you can play split screen. And then Xbox Live, you got 5 modes of gameplay.
Red Mercury was influenced by a lot of the big Hollywood blockbuster movies, sort of a really intense pace, but with a really driving story.
We want to make this game as cinematic as possible. So the first thing they did was just write a script as if this was going to be a movie.
We met our writers, Rick and Tog, and talked about what we wanted to do. We immediately grabbed on to this idea of Red Mercury as something completely unique.
We've done 6 movies in the last 18 months. And Mark Long asked us to come in and create a storyline for this game as well as all the cinematics. He had shown us a bunch of stuff on the Red Mercury game, and we were just blown away of how cinematic it looked. It was just gorgeous material, very cinematic.
The Red Mercury story is about dealing with a bomb called the Red Mercury,
which is a semi-nuclear device.
And you're sort of chasing it around the globe, trying to make sure it doesn't get set off.
And you're always one step behind.
From Russia to Casablanca.
From Chechnya to Syria.
Chasing after this terrorist team, trying to save the world, basically.
And not really know what the mission directive is and have to figure things out as you go along.
Red Mercury, I first read about on the internet like 5 years ago.
It actually is based on something real. I'm not sure what.
It's a scary idea. And when we saw the early cinematics, one of the things we saw was the Red Mercury actually go off and it blows all the planes off of the aircraft carrier's deck. We saw sort of one of the early visuals they had done for that, and I was pretty impressed.
It's a complete hoax. I didn't know it when I first read about it, and then when I found out from other websites, oh, this is just a made-up thing, I thought, this is really cool, and I'm going to keep this in mind, because this would be a great source for a story.
You could make this into a movie and it would work, in 3 acts perfectly, would work start to finish.
You want to get to the next cinematic where you can engage another interesting character. That really is what, to me, separates the good game from the excellent video game.
There's a sniper in that other wing! Put your shoulder. I'll take a look. Hayden, get upstairs and get in behind that sniper!
Well, for Red Mercury, we spent a lot of time on research. Zombie's well known for doing a lot of in-depth research on their games.
We have a technical advisor on the project who's ex-Green Beret.
I train personnel in various tactics of firearms, unarmed self-defense, counterterrorism measures.
It's really nice to have him there because he knows everything about the military and the way things work, the way they really work.
And so we had phenomenal access to weapons, ranges, and training, close quarter combat drills, and see how these teams move and react. Go. Go, go.
Go, go, go!
I also helped the artist with manipulations of weapons. We took them to the range, they got to fire weapons, see how they worked, and see how they were manipulated in terms of loading.
The artists get a sense of their weight and handling and how to reload and how long it takes to do something.
So that way they could replicate that in the game.
he gives perspective, and that's one thing that's nice to have, is you can make small adjustments on all different levels, from the guy who's the grunt down below to a super high-tech gadget.
All those little details, produce a better title.
We also spend a lot of time on the field recording audio, so we go out there and watch not just so the tactics are done, but also we grab sample audio.
The cinematics were produced in Paris by a company called Attitude Studios.
We have tried to follow the same process than an Hollywood movie.
They took our virtual sets and built actual physical sets, wooden sets. Motion captured all the actors in situ around those sets. So when they pick up a cup and put it on the table, it actually sits on the table and all of that.
The motion capture that I participated in were the motions of a person walking in a CQB mode, or close quarter battle, which is a certain way you walk. It's like running out in infantry mode. The maneuvers for loading the weapons, responding to being shot at, the kneeling positions, basically all the movements of a soldier in various environments.
In the first part, you have the storyboard, which is the explanation of the movie with different pictures. After, you have the mock-up session, when you have your actors and you place the different movements you will use in your cinematic.
They use the game engine to produce the video, and as a result, it matches production values perfectly. Well, I love these kind of games. These are the kind of games I like to play.
What'll make Red Mercury stand out is the fact that we're going for more cinematic and movie style effects. We're trying to keep it so it's a faster paced action movie, kind of like a summer blockbuster.
If you play it with a 5.1 surround sound system and it's on a big screen, I mean, you are in combat. You are in the middle of this war zone, and it's intense.
Our game is about reloading, pulling back.
Rockets going off, there's mortars. We're in trouble. Your team is screaming and yelling at you. Boom.
Firing,
Trying to find cover. We're being attacked. Explosions are going off.
shooting over your head.
Walls are shaking. You're being ambushed. Your helicopter gets hit and is flaming in flames. And
Lean out,
bullet holes and ricochets going all around you.
trying to stay alive. You forget that you're playing a game. That's really what our goal is. Just forget that you're in this game, and you're trying to give you a greater sense of presence.